I know there are a million variations of chicken soup, and everybody's grandma makes the best. I get it. But today I want to share with you my recipe because it is not only perfect for this time of year, but I don't think people realize how easy it is to make. This soup is loaded with healthy goodness from the vegetables, and you're going to want to grab a blanket and cozy up with a bowl of soup on the couch. And so let me show you how easy it is to put together. Pronto? Allora andiamo a cucinare. Ciao my friends, welcome to my kitchen. My name's Lucia. This is where I teach you easy recipes for healthy everyday cooking. And today we're going to start with some homemade chicken noodle soup. So to get started, with our stock pot, we want to add a couple tablespoons of olive oil. We want kind of a medium-high heat, and we've got some chicken. Now normally when I make chicken soup, I like to use the bone-in and skin-on. I find that it gives it more flavor, but when I went to the store today, they didn't have it, and so this is what they had. So, and I prefer thighs. I know some people like breasts, so whatever cut of meat you like is totally fine. So I'm just going to add some salt and some pepper to this, and I'm just going to place this in my pan. Just kind of open those up. I do want to add some more salt on the other side that I didn't get to season, and also some cracked pepper. And we're not looking to cook this all the way through. We're just looking for it to kind of brown, and then we'll flip it and let it brown on the other side because it's going to finish cooking later. Okay, so now that our chicken is kind of golden brown on each side, I'm just going to take it out and just set it aside for now. And now we're going to start cooking our vegetables. Get started, we want a stock pot, and we want to add a couple tablespoons of olive oil, and we want it on a medium-high heat. And we're going to start with our onions. And so we just want to dice. And to that we want to add about 2 tablespoons of salt. And we would just want to evenly stir up the onions with the salt just to make sure all that salt is evenly combined. And we just want to let the onions start to saute for a few minutes. So while that's sauteing, I'm going to add some carrots. And you want about a cup and a half. Now that's the beauty of this recipe. It doesn't matter if you have exact measurements, it's just roughly about. So if you like a lot of carrots, add more carrots. So I'm adding about 5 carrots, so I'm looking for about a cup and a half. And you can either cut them in circles or you can dice them into small quadrants, whatever you prefer. All right, and after the onions have been cooking for a few minutes, then we can go ahead and add our carrots. And next is our celery. Cut them long ways, however you like. We're again looking for about the same amount, a cup to a cup and a half. And I like to leave the leaves on. I think there's a lot of good nutrients in the leaves as well. All right, now we want to add our celery, and we want to mix that to evenly incorporate everything. And we just want to let this cook for about 5 minutes or so, just to kind of help the vegetables get a little bit softer. So our vegetables are all nice and soft, they're good. Vegetables are fantastic for chicken noodle soup because they are a carbohydrate, and the purpose of carbohydrates in our body is to give us energy. So if you're not feeling good, you definitely want energy, and your body needs energy to heal. The other thing is I'm going to add some crushed garlic. The other thing that's a good thing to add to the soup, if you like ginger, adding like a tablespoon of ground ginger to the soup too, because that also helps with inflammation as well. So now we're just going to take our chicken and add it back to the pot. And to this we're going to add some water, about 8 cups. So we're going to add our water into that, about 8 cups worth. And when you add that extra water, you might need a little bit extra salt and stuff like that, but let it cook, let the flavors develop, and then see if we need to add more salt. So we just want to give this a nice toss, and we want to cook this until the chicken is soft and kind of comes apart and the vegetables are all soft. So it should take about 15 to 20 minutes, but you may want to make sure your chicken is at least an internal temperature of 165, which it should be no problem. But what we're really looking for here is to be able to pull it apart, and I'll show you what that looks like when we get to that point. Okay, so now we need to add our noodles. Typically it's egg noodles that we add to chicken noodle soup. You can, add whatever it is that you want for the pasta. But what you do want to do is the pasta takes, according to the manufacturer on the box, it takes 10 minutes. So since this needs to cook about 20 minutes for the chicken to get soft, we want to throw this in at the 10-minute mark. So the last 10 minutes, the pasta's cooking and the chicken is cooking, if that makes sense. Hope not to confuse anyone. But anyway, so we're just going to add our pasta in here, and it's going to continue cooking. So now we're just going to let this finish cooking for the last 10 minutes. so that the pasta's cooked and the chicken is cooked, and then I'll show you how we separate that chicken. All right, so when the chicken is done, just take it out and let it cool for a minute, but I usually use 2 forks and I just kind of separate the meat. And it should just fall apart real easy like this. And then as you separate it, you can just add it back to the pot. And we want to continue doing this until all of our chicken is all shredded. And then we're going to add the last secret ingredient. Okay, now we can just stir and incorporate all that meat. And you can see, even though we added 8 cups of water, that pasta did absorb quite a bit of water. So it's not super watery, and it's thick. If you like it more thick, obviously less water. If you like it more soupy, more water, whatever you prefer. But I think this is a good combination. Now that our soup is cooked, we're going to take it off the heat, and we're going to add our last final ingredients. And I have some fresh herbs, which is just some thyme and oregano. Also great healing properties. Okay, so now it's time to serve our soup. And the other thing I like to do is add some fresh parsley to the top. If you haven't tried this, it might seem odd to you, but it's really good, is take some lemon and just squeeze it, the juice, in your soup. Lemon also has a lot of healing properties too, and just kind of mix that up. It just gives the soup a really nice fresh taste. I really like it. So let's go ahead and try this. It is so good. I can taste all that freshness from the herbs and just a hint of that lemon. You can't really tell it's lemon, but it really gives the soup a nice freshness to it. Anyway, I love sharing my recipes with you. I hope I've inspired you today, and until next time, I'm Chef Lucia, and I'll see ya.